about the loan year.
Yeah.
And how is going your negotiations to find someplace new about?
Well, we have a long-term plan where I would like to see the academy, even elements of the social club and the stadium, kind of all in a consolidated facility. But obviously, that's a 3-year plan. We've been looking at land for that, land that we could acquire, and the good news is there's a lot of available land in Rio that's very close to public transportation. The Botafogo fans are all over this country, so we need to make it easier for them to get to the stadium. As far as the short-term problem, yeah, it's surprising when you come in and you buy into a really, really big club. You almost expect training facilities to already be in place. But for us, we're spread out in pieces. We've got the first team here and the B team here and the U20s out at Safat and the 15s somewhere else. So it's not ideal. I think what we're probably going to do, I had a really nice meeting with the coach. We knew that the facilities thing was a problem when we showed up. We like Lonier. We love the brothers, right? They're incredibly supportive of Botafogo. There's been some things misreported in the press about them and what they've asked for, and I just didn't even want to comment on it because it just wasn't true. They've been nothing but helpful to us. We've been the slow part because we're trying to see, well, is that the right facility where we can bring together maybe first team, upper B team, and then the upper academy team in that place? Or should that facility be what was originally envisioned by the brothers, really for the academy with a true school, an educational school? So I hope to talk to them within the next 48 hours because I think we've done a lot of soul searching in terms of what we want as a club, and I just want to see if it lines up with their vision. I think it's likely. There's a facility that I don't want to sort of mention it publicly without telling the individual who owns it, but there's a facility that was offered to us for lease. I think we're going to go ahead with that. It's got a really good pitch that probably only needs 3 to 6 weeks of top dressing and leveling and conditioning to be a really high quality pitch. Unfortunately, it's not big enough to hold a lot, but it's a field that can start supporting our needs with the first team at Lonier and maybe the B team and the U20s at that facility, and they're very close to each other, 10 minutes apart. Because it's really important that the coach, you see how quickly somebody can come up from the U20s or the B team and suddenly, be relevant in Serie A, not just with our club, but with other clubs. I saw a fabulous kid playing for Flamengo the other day in the U20 game. So it happens all over Brazil where these U20s and B teamers can really help on the A team. So the only way to really make that work is to make it very easy for the coaches to get to know those players. They have to focus on the A team, but they really, we got to make it easier for them to see out of the corner of their eye the great talent that's coming up. So, yeah. As far as the pitch, I showed the coach the quality of the pitch that we built for our Belgium team. Now, our Belgium team is a much smaller team, nowhere near the scale or social importance of Botafogo. But their season ended. I only bought them in December 24th, Christmas Eve. And so as soon as the season ended, we ripped up the stadium pitch and we put in a Premier League quality pitch. The Deso pitch, 20% nylon and 80% grass. It's a standard across the Premier League. So even my little club in the stadium and the practice facility both have 1.3 million euros invested in each of those pitches. So if I would do that for a small club in Belgium that I love, of course we're going to do it for Botafogo, but we need the season to end before we rip up the field and rip up training, because, yeah, we can complain as we do, I do, the coach does about the facilities, but can't really interrupt the middle of the season either. Sorry to go so long on that, but it's been a topic on everybody's mind.
And many fans are sad because of the Zahavi situation.
Yeah.
So what would you say?
Well, he's a wonderful man, and he and I have been sharing a lot of texts, and You know, there's been a lot made about the security issue here. Obviously, that was a concern. I think it was, in his particular situation, it's been reported that they had some security problems as a family in their last club. I'd say the thing that I'd like to comment on the most, you know, I really don't mind criticism. I used to care about it a lot, but I think that leadership can be lonely at times, and you just have to stay on plan. But to address some of the criticism about our, you know, losing these great opportunities, I'm going to keep losing these opportunities because I'm going after players that have like a 2% probability of coming. I mean, if I dream about Cavani or James Rodriguez, I'm going to go after them. And it's just irrational for somebody to say, oh, that's a failure. Well, you know how hard it is to convince a pure European player that has no ties to Brazil to leave everything that they know and the comforts of their life and what they understand and what makes them feel safe. And I'm not just talking about the security issue. I mean, just personally safe and comfortable. And just pick up and move to the other side of the world and go to Brazil. And yeah, Brazil looks great in photos and the people are, you know, exuberant and it's a beautiful country, but it's just hard to get them to make that decision. They have kids in school. Like, especially when you go after the big names. They have 15-year-olds in school. You know, anybody can grab a 22-year-old. You know, they don't have any ties to anything. So we're going to keep going after some of these big transformational players, and we're going to keep hearing no. We love your project. Wow, it's exciting, but no, I just can't see it. James Rodriguez, you know, of course he's trying to prove himself in Europe. He's not ready to come back. You know, we'll see what he gets offered. We'll continue to sort of be in his ear. Our acquisition of Olympique Lyon, I think I think Botafogo is even more interesting because, you know, somebody in Europe can come back here and reestablish the dominance that made them a marquee player, and then maybe they want to get back to Europe. Maybe they come help us win a championship, and then they end up at Olympique Lyon. So I can tell you this, there's no other multi-club strategy that I'm aware of that's assembled top-tier teams, top leagues, Premier League, Ligue 1 in France, and Serie A here in Brazil. And we're trying to use that combination to convince people that we're a great place to be. And we think, we'd love it if all the Brazil players want to play on our team and stay here forever, but they don't. They want to go to Europe. So if we can convince them that we are the best pathway to Europe because we directly own these clubs, like the offers that we're talking about with young Nascimento, playing him here as long as possible, developing him here. We hope he wants to stay here, you know, score some goals in Serie A. And during the middle of the seasons, we can give him exposure at Crystal Palace, at Olympique Lyon, show him what it's like to be a top European pro, and then bring him back here for the next season and hope he stays till he's 21. Like, so we have the ability to offer experience and exposure to really build up somebody as a player, as a person, as a marketable asset for their own benefit. And I don't mind the fans. You can make fun of me all you want when I don't get the big player, and I'm still going to keep trying, right? We're going to hear no again and again and again. I'm like a dancer trying to make it onto a Broadway play. I'm going to get there, right? I can't dance very well. It's a bad analogy, but so we'll keep trying.
Do you have a list of players?
Oh,
players,
it's like
great players?
it is like Santa's list at Christmas. It is so long. No. Well, yeah. I mean, Alessandro. You know, we have a legitimate scouting organization that we're building here, and it's getting more and more professionalized every day. And when somebody says, "Do you have a plan B?" we get that question a lot. It's not like you're spending all this time going after Zahavi and you just, oh my God, we didn't get him, and geez, what do we do? Like, yes, we have a plan B and a plan C. You have layers and layers of prospects. But, you know, I mean, you have to have a balance. We can only have so many foreign players. We don't want to waste a foreign spot on somebody unless it's really, really a top player. And so we're a little more careful about going for people that, there are a lot of people that are foreign players that might be able to help our team, but they might be able to help our team. And we might have somebody coming up that might be able to develop better. So we really only want to use one of those foreign spots if it's a really strong transformational player. And And by the time most of these fans say, well, go get this great guy or that great guy, well, you know, he's 34, he's 33, and sometimes there's a 26-year-old that is better. So yeah, we're looking forward to the transfer window. We're very encouraged that some young players have sort of stepped up, and the hair on the back of their neck is up, and they're refusing to be minimized in the future of this roster. And Ka'ike is a perfect example. I mean, I said this in an interview the other day. I mean, a few months ago, I thought he was a great kid. I didn't think he was going to do what he's done. So I think we're seeing the younger kids step up. We're in the transfer window looking for strength. Injuries are absolutely killing us. I mean, yellow cards are killing us. Mythical red cards are killing us. I did have a very satisfying meeting with the CBF the other day. The head of referees saw it the way our fans did, you know, but still, we're without one of our best players today. Still have 3 very capable center backs, so we, you know, weren't hurt too bad in that respect, but we just need everybody healthy. We need to get through this little period we're going through. We're having a hard time getting the full roster available for the coach's decisions.
So how do you feel now being a Carioca citizen?
It's really cool. I mean, I don't know if you saw that event the other day, but my goodness, they do a great job of making people feel welcome. And at the city level and the state level, I think what was really exciting is that legislators that root for different clubs still voted for this, because we're all on the same team in trying to bring kind of energy, capital, and attention back to Brazil football. So of course I enjoyed the Botafogo politicians getting behind it, but I really enjoy that in the vote at the state level, it was a unanimous vote, and it's not for me personally, it's for what, you know, I represent as being the first of the SAFs at a time when the Premier League itself was already organizing Libra. I mean, these are really big transformational things happening here in Brazil. And so, yeah, I'm a citizen. I've got this plaque. I hope I don't have to pay taxes. That was in the back of it, maybe in the fine print. But
After Botafogo, what do you like most in Rio?
honestly, I love the mountains, the way they come just powering out of the sea, you know, in a way, in a shape that I've never seen anywhere in the world. I love the mountains here. I love a city that's sort of at one with nature. I think it's one of the most beautiful cities on earth. The people, they love hard, they complain just as hard. And this tonight was hard for me because, you know, God, what a hard loss, what a depressing loss. I mean, and what a great crowd we had tonight. And I looked around and I said, you know, there could be a lot of people upset with me at the end of tonight, but I can handle it, you know, just keep working.
And the attitude with Giovanna was very great because she was needing some attention.
Yeah. Well, she's also very excited. Olympique Lyon has the #1 women's team in the world, so she has something to grow up into. I loved her quote. What a wonderful little girl. People are screaming at her. Moms are screaming from the sideline to get their little boys to beat up the little girl. And I love that she called the moms out on that. And I love that she said something to the effect of, I'm just not going to apologize for my talent. Like, I mean, what a kid, you know. I gave her such a hug when I saw her. I mean, what an interview that was. So, yeah.
She was on reality.
Well, I don't know. I think that's kind of a harsh story to say he was offered to us and rejected. Like, the Google translator doesn't really convey the writing to me, so I'm not sure if I understood that story properly. No, but I was aware that he was available. Obviously, legendary player. I mean, you owe it to yourself to take a quick look. But we have a younger movement happening here, Botafogo, and especially in a key position, attack-oriented positions. You know, I don't think, you know, he's really the profile of what we're looking for. He's a great player. He's going to end up somewhere. and maybe he's going to do incredibly well, and we're going to regret it. But he's just not exactly the profile we're trying to build around right now.